no reason why he can't bounce back in the second.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, there's all the reasons in the world why they could as well. I mean, this map is what they consider to be their best map. It's their choice. They do start out on the terrorist side, and that has to do with the seeding of the way it works with the upper bracket. But we'll see if they can get things rolling. Underway already. Pistol round. 5 pieces of armor bought. So 5 players buying up Kevlar on the terrorist side. It's 2 utility players for Renegades. It's Smoke, Flash, and Nade for JKS, and Nade and Kit for Sponge.
1 player is going to be towards Palace for TyLoo. That's going to be Mo, actually. He's going to be the old bait for, or maybe just show some presence towards the A side before his teammates rush. You can see they're actually camping up in that little corner there. Just so if any CT pushes, he doesn't get any vision until the last second, and that's when they die, presumably. Bomb going to be with him as well. Let's see how this one goes down. This is where Mo is going to try and peel away some CTs there as he faces out, walks out. Has headshot Ustillo already, actually, so this could be interesting. As the bomb actually is deciding to make its way back towards the A site. Mo has spotted out, scouted it, and said, there's no one actually facing me whatsoever, so you guys might as well just come join me. Instead of potentially walking into the stack. And that's a decent call. There's actually 4 players towards the B half of the map and just 1 towards A, so.
And very passively at A as well. CT spawn for Ustillo because of that 13 HP. He's basically just sitting for information.
Means they can just walk all the way in, get a decent plan down, and he's guaranteed himself to bomb now.
Ustillo's waiting in this corner. Mo not going to push past it. That was Ustillo's hope. That would have been best case scenario for his position. He catches them with a headshot as he goes by, but now it's Yam inside of middle. Fancy drops. And they're just trying to buy time. Now Ustillo has a teammate with him. It's Sponge that can try and distract, and he hits the first shot. Ustillo does go down, and it's going to be Captain Mo with 3 in turn with the Glock. Headshot onto both Sponge and JKS. Attacker finds Azur, and it is on to Yam. Last alive versus 3. Captain Mo with 4 in the round. Bit burst at the end of it, too. Why not? A little stylish.
Well, there it is. We saw how it all built up there. Captain Mo scouting out the A-bomb site, said it was completely clear. His teammates rotated in. He's already headshot Ustillo at that point. So he was so deep in towards CD spawn, it meant they could get the bomb plant down as a really difficult retake for Renegades. And Mo, as they focused their efforts towards the CD spawn area, he picked up 3 kills with the Glock and guarantees the round for TyLoo here. So definitely something they needed just to kind of get himself back in towards this series. I think he gets the final kill as well, so actually 4 kills for him in this round. Number 2, no force buy from Renegades, one of the few teams that don't ever force buy in the second.
Oh, of course, and look, it's a smart thing not to do. I mean, they do have very slight pistol upgrades, to be fair, but no armor, which is fine. Look at the setup, though. That double little stack going on back towards CT stairs. Cheeky. Yeah. But TyLoo's looking like they, well, they looked like they could have walked into B easily, but they should be able to figure this out, more importantly. Bombs at the top of middle. They could still go either direction on the map.
Let's see where they decide to go. Going to be making their way in. I think it's going to be Mode once again towards that A ramp. DD gets some presence in towards Connector. They have spotted the A sides open, but it's a little bit of a ruse here considering that double boost we have towards CD spawn. They're going to be smoked out now. Looks like they'll be pushing through. Have got a flashbang as well. It's in the hands of Sponge. So potentially just going to chuck that through and see what they can do here. That's the move now being made. Now Attacker needs to find his first kill. Jammer takes him down. Ustillo finds the second as well. Captain Mo stepping up. He gets a double frag. And that should be the round tied up here. Now going to be 2 versus 1. Sponge just with that CZ. Can't find the kill towards Palace here. He's going to be dead now. And it was a decent attempt from Renegades. Pushing through to CD spawn. Finding 3 kills. But ultimately it's TyLoo to win the rounds. Not really much to do this time. Apart from get those slight upgraded pistols once again, the Renegades. It should be another guaranteed round here for the terrorists.
Yep.
3-0 coming in. Just 2BT50, that's it.
Another stack from Renegades. So no traditional rounds in terms of these pistols. They're trying something every time. The gamble. Azur's going to push up middle this time to get a little bit of information. Spotted already though, and from that range, no chance against the AK. Fancy waits for the push at A main. He's going to go down, but he's the only one on that side of the map. It's an AK for them to grab. Sponge will go ahead and do exactly that, but already bomb heading toward the apartments, and already they're inside of the B site to get the information that it is completely open. They're going to try and rotate back through A. Potential to cut them off, but more importantly, now that Yam has the AK, they'll just want to hold on to that. bring it into the first gun. So again, not a full force in the second round, as you mentioned. Renegades, one of the teams not wanting to do that. And picking up this AK. They're going to be in a great position if they can keep that alive. Still, though, they look to face and at least do a little bit more damage. They're going to boost EM up with that AK in his hands. And it's DD that's going to confront first. EM's got this pre-aimed. They're going to go around the corner. He drops for the first headshot, spray down, tries to transfer it over. Oh, and it actually effectively is 4 kills for him because EM trying to fire back actually kills his teammate as well.
Yeah, nice work there. Holding on that tight corner, does manage to find 4 kills. Yeah, getting one as well, but he still can afford the AWP. It's absolutely fine. He gets body armor and the AWP and some nades as well. So this is what Renegades wanted to guarantee going into this first gun round. Ensure they have all the grenades and kits and rifles. DD getting a pretty easy spray down in the grand scheme of things.
Go a little spray down.
There we go then, it's going to be Renegades with it AWP. Yeah, pushing himself up towards short, looking for that first pick.
Another team kill, by the way, Henry, to add to the total.
Yes, keep them coming.
One every game, I'm sure, at least. You still on back on the CT stairs. 4 grouped outside of A right now, so they are looking to run play onto A. They're not actually going heavy execution, though. They've got smokes to do so, but they're going to try and creep in and play picks, which is a dangerous game to play. The AWP, thankfully, in the hands of Yam is not in that position, though. It's out toward middle. Still faced and spotted, down to 1 HP. Needs to be weary of nades, so he has to go very passive. In fact, he's going to fall all the way back to CT and allow the rotation. It's Azur that will resume duties toward that CT stair position.
Well, we'll have full control of the site now, and this is actually a really difficult situation with the CTs. Bomb planted, without any frags being exchanged. Stillo's on 1 HP as well. Sponge towards that connector area, trying to work out what the next move is here. He's obviously making the call at this point. And they are going to be going for this, pushing through to the steps area. No frags found still. They have to work so hard for this.
Azur checks both ways on the way through. Look both ways before you cross the street, kids, but unfortunately they're still running out of men because attacker's taking down Yam. It's still down to a 2 versus 2. Low HP on Azur. He's found it and dropped down. It's JKS to fall as well.
TyLoo getting the job done once again. Default into an execution and just doing so much damage onto the bomb side. Renegades don't seem to have much presence onto the side when actually coming in here. A change of setup required potentially here. Need to actually make sure they're having people inside the site as the execution comes in, as they're not finding the kills after the smokes are down. It's 4-0 now on the Renegades. Presumably going to be on towards an eco here. Desert Eagles, CZs, 50s. We go to round number 5. No real stacks there either.
Mo's shuffling out, but DD finds the kill on Sponge first. So TyLoo, after getting beaten handedly 16-5 on Cobblestone, have pistols to go against them before securing a 5-0 start on the T side of Mirage. We may still have a series on our hands. It's Sustillo going to come back out. Good job done as he takes down both attacker and DD. Drops bomb momentarily, and Azur's going to follow this up. Low HP on Mo because of JKS has an early damage, and Azur's picked up an AK. This now comes to a 1-on-1. He's got armor to work with. This is fair play. And he spots it up as well. Fancy, what a shot from Azur!
Unbelievable round. That was really sick from Azur there to finish things off. So calm, and that last shot was so crisp as well. 4-1, just when they needed it. It looked like they were completely out of that. It was going to be almost guaranteed 5-0. They go aggressive towards middle, get equal exchanges, and then Azur, very nice performance there. Like we said, it's a great tournament so far. That round is testament to it. 4-1. All of a sudden, Renegades are back into this. See, the money's not great for TyLoo. Could be somebody just on the Tech 9. But they have got the AWP still, so they're going for a fast mid-play this time. Sponge really caught his pants down there with the smoke out. And they do have the man advantage going towards the B side.
Captain Mo trying to find a favorable angle in toward that van position, but Azur sneaks out late, and because he's scoped in, he has no idea that he's there. Another easy shot for Azur in that regard. 4 plays on to 4. It's somebody with a Tech 9. Still someone we haven't said much about in this series, which surprises me.
Well, equal situation now. Make it more favorable towards TyLoo as DD does find the kill on towards Sustillo. He seems to be having a rough time towards that A site. He's dying consistently, and it looks like the bomb now in underpass will be making its way back towards A and joining up. The rest of the team still have plenty of time here to play with. But only one smoke, so it'd be more of a contact play. It's going to be fancy one towards the Palace area of A. And the CT, you can see them pushing up towards middle here. Not going to find anything yet, but they are in good position to come back towards connector.
Bomb in position now. Quick check to underpass from Azur. And then he goes toward connector. Contact play, like you say. Already they force the CT back slightly on the CT stairs. Yam's got the shot, though, on the cross. And he's way back toward connector position. Azur's going to go down on a reface coming out. It's Yam again, who takes down DD, and it's all onto JKS at the top of the ramp because it's going to force Yam away from the smoke, but there's a gap. And he's got the bomb inside of that gap. He knows it, too, so he's just going to sit and watch for it. They jump over it smartly. Oh, what? Through the legs. Did he hit him? I think he did just take him down slightly, but it's still alive, and that means the bomb goes down. It's still a 2 versus 1 in favor of TyLoo. And Yam, behind the smoke, is desperate to find something, jumping and trying to fire into the corner, hoping someone's on the other side of it. He'll wall it as well. But this is such a hard situation now as well, and a reset potential for Renegades if they don't pick this up. Flash over, face out, one towards A main, and one directly to the inside of the box. Gonna face him, nice shot from Yam! And now he's gonna look toward A main, but tap this, it's looking a connector. He has to read this right, he's looking the wrong way. This is gonna be peaked any second, surely. Patience from Fancy in this situation. 10-second defuse, and he has to get off this, he's gone. And he's gonna get the kill as well from Fancy.
Oh, that shot, it looked like he had such an unbelievably strong position in terms of having the bomb and that gap in the smoke. It was a godsend in that respect, but just doesn't manage to land the kill, and it does give TyLoo a chance to plant with 4 seconds remaining as well. So that's a pretty cool finish, but unfortunately, as you said, Renegade's now going to be on the full reset. They only get $1,400 going into this round, and Yam just couldn't do quite enough. That was the kill to take down the bomb plant there, but couldn't finish things off. That was a lovely shot towards attacker, but it's the final shot when Yam loses the AWP, doesn't manage to save it. Round number 7. Entirely potentially forcing Renegades onto a double eco there.
He's still low in the corner with P250. He's already spotted. DD's well and truly inside of the site.
Yeah, this one's over.
Somebody with 2. Somebody with 3, maybe. Not 100% sure. He's got to reload that UMP. Sponge still in his sights, but DD beats him to it. JKS will fall immediately after trying to push in the apartments and potentially flank out somebody and get at least 1 kill on the board, but insufficient. 1 round only for Renegades, and now their economy is the one that struggles, much like TyLoo's was in Cobblestone. Now, in fairness, TyLoo made it a much harder situation for themselves than the Renegades have.
6-1, Renegades now, as I said, double eco potential here. They could buy, they did really want to. You can see Azur could maybe drop an ult, but definitely not worth it at this stage. Still quite early sections of the second map here. 6-1, not out of it just yet. And then we'll be on to CZ's, PT50's, USP. Somebody does find the first kill on towards JKS as well, so should be a flurry of kills coming out for TyLoo. There's 3, and now it's just going to be Yam and Azur. Almost certainly going to be dying momentarily. It's just Azur now working his way in towards the B apartments. I think he did make some footsteps there as well, so they will know where he is. And they're adjusting themselves right now, looking towards short. I don't think he'll be surviving much longer. And there it is, attacking gets the final frag. So here we go then. Renegades potentially could get the double orb set up if they wanted to, and just try and change things up a little bit. There's 1. Will we go for 2? Yep, there it is. So Azur brings out the second orb as well. JKS get to buy. I'm sure he'll be on the M4. He normally plays B by himself, but now they have 2 orbs. It does give them a couple more options. Could go for that aggressive orb face towards the apartments, maybe towards Palace, and then have one towards middle as well. That would normally in the form of Yam. We'll see how they decide to go into this one. No orbs for TyLoo at all.
Captain Mo normally the one to bring it up. The apartments that they'll start things off of TyLoo. No op inside of the B side. It's JKS here with a rifle. The ops both inside our window and CT stairs, so not really anyone close to B. The window player, actually, Yam is pushed up in the middle as well, so he's going to be even further away from a quick rotation. He could get back to catwalk, but not before they would be inside of the site at this point, because JKS is playing passive on the entry as well. And TyLoo's going to go. Pop flash, smokes over. He'll make the call. Rotation's coming to connector, or rather, it's going to be catwalk, but they're so slow getting there. JKS has to do it all his own. He's done very well. In fact, 2 kills and multiple damage done, and Attacker's going to kill Captain Mo. Another team kill.
Another one. Keep adding the bodies to the pile. This is going to be a 3-on-1 now, and it's going to be Fancy with the bomb down beneath him in the beer pile with an orb looking towards him. But somehow he still doesn't make that shot. He's had a really rough game here on Mirage, down 2 orbs and 40 seconds on the clock.
Trying to get that Molotov as deep as he possibly could for that exact reason, but pixel too high, it catches the edge of the archway.
Well, we talk about JKS in that B-bomb site. He always seems to be good for 1 or 2 frags. This time he gets 2 and just slows them down just enough to guarantee them the round. Sponge on 0 kills so far. 0 for 7, so...
007? No, he's got two assists, yeah.
Not quite.
Damn. JKS did very well in the entrance there. There you go. Another situation where they cross over each other and Attacker just trying to secure the kill.
Renegades need to try and get a couple of rounds in a row here. Can't keep being reset. You can see how it's affecting their cash. It's going to be Sponge just on the UMP this round. Looks like an AXQ coming in from TyLoo. This will be all the smokes out at the top. Try and force their way out, and it's going to come up to Azza. He's the secondary AWP here. Looking towards that A ramp. Not executing just yet, though. Actually haven't got the smokes in their hands right now. They are setting up for the smokes towards the steps in jungle. Presumably one towards spawn as well, but we'll see how they decide to go forward with this one.
4 players set in that A main position. Molotovs go either direction. Captain Mo's forced in. He's got to go, and that leaves him in the site. Easy shot for Azur. But they do pick up 1 more kill on the way through. It's Azur with the only refrag back, which leaves them down a man. So step on Molotov play was a little bit of a mistime, but Attacker with Azur down as well means TyLoo could pick up their 8th round right now. They're up 4-2 in manpower. Yam holding, spots up somebody though, and bomb's not crossed. It's stuck at Tetris. So they have to start making a play because...
Look at this though. Fancy one coming in the back.
Oh, that's perfect. That is so perfect. I was about to say there's not much utility. There was 1 smoke only, and Fancy was the one who had it at mid, so his position was just even better.
That's why they didn't move at all. They just got the call from him and said, guys, just wait for me to, even if I die here, I'll get some intel for you, and then you'll know the CT's out before you cross into the site. Sometimes that can be the best thing to do. Just don't have to force the bomb plant going down. A lot of teams will just go in and say, with the logic, the sooner we get the bomb down, the sooner we can win the round. But this is actually perfect. Just holding up, being patient, and he gets a double kill there. Both headshots, of course. And that's another reset for Renegades here, so they go in for another full eco. It's TyLoo now with 8-2 advantage, and presumably another Renegade double save having the B rush from TyLoo. Going to find an empty site here as well because Renegades have stacked towards the A side. They will be pushing towards T spawn. This could be too little too late at this point.
Straightforward. Mogo missing a shot. He's going to go down here. He can't miss 2. That's an AWP picked up. Something to carry into the next round, and they're already turning around and heading for the hills. Thank you very much for the Huntsman rifle. The hunting rifle. What is it called in H1Z? Hunting rifle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I'm terrible with it.
I only play Battle Royale now. You don't really get it that often.
No, you got to get it from the drops.
Yeah.
Back through somebody, an Attacker going to close out kills, but they still have that AWP up for Sponge. JKS is found. Sponge is going to be far enough away. They won't get to him in time.
Sponge just saved the AWP. It's pretty much the best they could have hoped for considering their buy. So, like I said, they did have double eco potential here. And
I thought this might be the case because they have that op in the double eco situation. I think they're going to force around it. I would force around it at this point. 9-2 and you really need rounds.
Considering the scoreline and where they are right now with the money, I'd say it's worth it. You still can get a Famas and armor. They've got enough for like an orb, 2 or 3 Famases, a pistol. I think it's enough. I see him discussing it right now.
He's a vocal coach, PK. First tournament with the team. He is used to talking during Counter-Strike matches.
Yes, it's true. Just discussing the options right now. Working out the money options. If they didn't have that orb, it'd almost certainly be double eco here, but that does make things a little bit more interesting. So working out what's going to be the best way to operate here.
Start by getting kills. Opening picks would be nice.
Well, it's not so much the opening kills, it's just their presence on the A bomb side. They're not deep enough on the side. They're retaking every single time through smokes, and once the bomb's already down, I prefer them to be a little bit closer and actually be challenging and having 2 players in front of the smoke towards lower round, for example. We see a lot of teams do that. But it's too late on the retake. They really haven't got enough to actually get back towards the sides. We'll see how they decide to get back into this.
And you talked about that as well, because he's still even in the pistol round, first gun, he got tagged up significantly, and both times had to go very passive and give up the site in multiple situations.
Yeah, he's angling there by himself almost. As they have tried to mix things up slightly with the AWP, but once again, as soon as he gets smoked out, that's the round over, and it's almost a free plan at that stage. They're relying very heavily so far on the big clutches. We saw that round with Azar on their full eco. He manages to win a 3-on-1 with the AK. We'll see how Renegades get back into this. It's looking like a strong case though for a third map. There we go, we are back.
Well, and truly background already unfolding as there's a presence at middle from TyLoo. 2 players in underpass as well, and mid given up from Renegades. They are going to get more forward in the site, Henry. This is what you wanted, but they've given up so much in middle, and TyLoo has 3 players coming up through the connector. Bit of a problem. You still is going to try and wrap out, catch them on that, but Attacker gets above, and the timing is just off. So they finally try to make it an adjustment, and TyLoo goes the exact place they leave open. Yam's got 1 shot, but he's now 1 versus 4. Bomb's already planted, and they're going to flash over and try and just face him, get this over with fast.
Round over. And Renegades now only going to be getting $2,400 into the next one. It's surely another eco coming in. And it's getting pretty grim now. TyLoo looking very strong on Mirage. This is their pick, of course. And it looks like a force buy coming from Renegades now. Andy's brought out the shotgun. So they are all in once again, looking for a miracle here. They managed to do it with the lesser weapons before, just pistols. So I was hoping they get a bit of luck with this one. I don't think this is the round that's going to happen. It looks like 11-2 coming in. They go for a slight stack towards the A side. 4 players there. JKS towards B by himself with the UMP, but he's going to be challenged straight away.
Fancy. Going to try and get around the corner toward A main. Take a peek. Azar actually gets down there with the shotgun. Good start to things off, and Sponge gets back into Attacker. That drops the bomb at middle. Captain Mo is there with the AWP though, and he'll find it before he can retreat back into the underpass, but they have picked up an M4 into Azar. So a significant upgrade in that capacity. Somebody's, look at this. This lurk is so good. So slow and so paced. Does JKS know he's here? Definitely spots him now, but somebody's already got the kill, so it's too late. Doesn't matter. Even if he had some inkling that he was back in the site, it really didn't change much in the results, specifically because that UMP from that range was never going to work. Captain Mo up close takes down Ustillo as well. Yeah,
it's going to be a 2-on-2 now after such a strong start to the round by Renegades. Yam with the scout does shoot out the vent here and make his way towards, potentially up towards your Azar. This should be almost guaranteed kill for him. He's got the M4, has heard the footsteps, got good information here. And needs to act quick. If he can get in the back here of this terrorist in towards B apartments, which he probably sure will, because you can see Captain Mo with the AWP. No reason for him to drop down, but he has got the bomb. 30 seconds
right now, Azar. He could have already pushed into him at this point. And the problem is now that Captain Mo's thinking, wait a minute, I haven't seen anyone in the site. You haven't seen anyone wrapping through CT and checker room. Is there a chance they're behind me? And he already had his sights firmly fixed upon that position once, but Yam, it's with a scout that he hits him. So AWP first scout, and the headshot from Yam pays off. Somebody's going to try and plant this bomb. 10 seconds to do it. He'll manage to get it down, but he's got to clutch this out now versus 2. And they're going to push quickly. As you mentioned, Azar still has that M4, and he's got perfect position as well.
Well then. It was a round that was a little bit desperate, but it's Renegades getting their 3rd on the board. It was shotguns, scouts, and there's actually Yam getting 2 kills with that weapon. They got them into it. I think he opened things up as well towards Connector with that weapon from CT Spawn. And they actually get an AWP and actually get some cash going into the next round. There's that first shot from Yam. Taking down DD, ripping his head off. Captain Mo and somebody did what they could, but just wasn't quite enough. It's another great shot here from Yam. Jumping, of course. Why not?
Fancy waiting for anyone to push through. Very even spread from TyLoo in terms of their presence on the map. No one in mid, interestingly enough, though. So they've gone 3 mid when Renegades got aggressive in the site and were able to take connector. They've gone mid splits to B, and then they've done this round where they've got no one in mid. So they've got some diversity in their default, but it's Yam to take down somebody with the AWP. Good push into the apartments at B, and starts it off with the first pick to see if they can stabilize this as well and bring this to 10-5.
5-4. Captain Mo with the AWP, going to be working his way around, seeing if he can get a pick towards that A site. Looking like an execute coming in once again, but as I said, the Renegades have adjusted their A setups now. You can see players playing in front of that smoke and actually going to be battling at close range, which is what they required. So they couldn't just allow TyLoo to go in there and get the bomb down about any frags being exchanged. Oh, that's a great shot though.
With a good response, though. Captain Mo goes down. It's still a man advantage for Renegades. Ustillo, though, is going to be lit on fire. He's got a face, and when he faces, Fancy's there. Not only that, turns back and finds Azure, so the forward stance again is going to get torn apart. But Sponge, Scout, decent damage already done on the DD. He can finish it out. Fancy, he goes down as well because he gets tagged up slightly, and now it's just down to the one-on-one with Attacker. But he's got to fade back through this smoke, Sponge. And Bomb has picked up from Attacker. He's going to go immediately onto the plant. To find the angle, doesn't land the shot. First and second attempts fail, and it's going to be the AK to win. And unfortunately for Sponge, there was just no guns around to swap out with.
Yeah, they actually got 2 kills out. That's that'll be enough for Renegades to squeeze that round out. Featured matchup to be JKS versus somebody, and somebody actually besting in by 6. Going to the final. Going to the final round of the first half. It's going to be a very difficult fight for Renegades. Can't imagine they have much to work with here. This is Captain Mo just completely opening up the bomb site. It's Sponge now finds a couple of decent kills, but after he fired that shot towards the taking down, like around going in their favour. It's a great shot from Ustillo though. With the 5-7 to get towards Captain Mo. Maybe you're going to get a couple more here, but it does get taken down the end by DD.
Certainly does. JKS among the 2 remaining for Renegades. Yam, the other, is now the only. He's going to get 1 shot into DD with the Scout, 54 HP. Hit in his hand and nothing he can do. 12-3 TyLoo.
Indeed.
Slightly lesser than what Renegades achieved on them because it's 1 less round, but still a very good score line, you have to say, considering what we saw in the first game. So another one-sided matchup, but unlike yesterday with all the one-sided matchups, we might see 3 maps in this one because one of each have gone either way.
I think we are definitely going to see 3 maps here. Obviously, Renegades can win the pistol. There's no reason why they can't get rolling on the T side, but 12-3 is a very convincing scoreline. And you have to say, it's that A-bomb side seemed to be a real problem there for the Renegades. Didn't ever really get control of it. They tried different setups, double orbs, 3 up close, and just weren't making the frags. As TyLoo is running that default and coming in, sticking together as a tight unit, just hitting their shots. They came towards the bomb site. You go into the second half now. We'll see what kind of buys are coming in. But yeah, absolutely, looking like we may be seeing Cash here, which should be a great map.
Pretty stunned Renegades. I mean, the good news is having won the first map, they can not feel too pressured. They know they can easily get back into this series, but at the same time, they definitely have to figure out what's gone on and what's gone wrong fast.
Yes.
Interesting series, I have to say, in the fact that it's been this one-sided both times.
Well, I guess it's both teams winning their own picks, and then we go into Cash. That's where the grand final really gets going, I guess. That's how we can build it.
There's certainly no other way. There was a 12-3 comeback today on Mirage, on the other side of the world in Austin, Texas. But that was Cloud9 being 12-3 up, swapping over to the T side, achieving nothing. CLG ended up winning CT side. This is the opposite. TyLoo got 12 on the T side themselves. That's pretty impressive.
Okay then. Well, again, Renegades will be going towards the A side. 3, make it 4 now. Players making away, and it's going to be simple smoke just to try and get that plant down. Somebody really waiting on the other side though. He's actually sitting in, listening out for the bomb and trying to stop it going down. Here comes the shot. So Captain Mo finds 2 of the USP. Sponge answers back and not quite enough still. As the bomb does get planted, somebody is pushing through the smoke.
Oh, just get on it.
Oh, could have done it, but his upside Renegades will be taking it down 3-on-3 now.
How amazing would that have been? He had the kit, but it's not done yet because TyLoo has two. It's DD with both. Sponge gets it back down, but he's dropped, and DD's going to be able to pick up the kit. He doesn't even need to. It is right there because that's where somebody perished, but he could. How amazing would that have been? I just want to go back to that. If he's inside the smoke, they insta-plant. He's the one with the kit. Just goes, I'm instantly on it. That would have been the coolest thing in the world.
It would have made them all panic as well, and his teammates going to come in and actually come in and got the final kills, but they still win the round regardless. But there you go. It's going to be Captain Mo picking up the frags hit. That's actually a double kill. They line up nicely for him. And that should be it, really. We'll see what Renegades do here as we get into the second round. This is all the final kills on your screen. They are going to be forcing it. That's what I kind of assumed. Obviously, most teams, if they get the bomb down in the pistol, will buy up AKs on the third, but they can't allow teams to get that close to map points. So he's going to be forcing the second, hoping for the best. So decent nades coming in. It's actually Captain Mo and Attacker finding frags all over the place. It's Attacker from short, and he gets two. Silla and Yan are the final two. That should be it for them. And there's only Yan remaining, so this forced by Mansing to hold on to nothing.
Somebody takes down Yam. Well, this one could be even quicker than the first.
Yeah, they have to force by him.
Tech 9s across the board. Yam sticks to the Glock. He bought the Glock, Henry.
He bought the Glock.
As you would say.
I don't think I've ever said that.
No, you didn't. I know. I'm sorry.
I think I said Glock round.
Yeah, you have said that before. He went to the Tech 9 in the end anyway.
Five Glock. 5 Tech 9s and smokes. They're assuming they can try and get the bomb down here with the execution, see if they can do something with this. It doesn't normally equate to actual round victory, but it means you can boost your economy, but they needed to win this time. Tech 9s in hand and head armor means they can actually push through the smokes and try and surprise the CT. Here comes a play now. And it's a desperation play from the Renegades.
Flash through, Attacker blinded up, has to go back inside the smoke at jungle, and they're going to wrap around. Renegades with decent stance, but they're battling rather than planting. Bomb's still back at Tetris, and they're inside the site with good stance, but they still don't have the weapons picked up, although Azur does, and he isn't behind Attacker. They had no idea he was still in the corner, still in the smoke, and Renegades have a very good stance in this round with a two-man advantage. And somebody going to clear corners again, but still they don't know Azur's there. In same position, opposite side, he gets a kill. It's on to Fancy 1 versus 3, and he's gone already.
The ace for Azur as well. He gets all 5 kills that round. Tech 9 and M4 combo. And it seems like there's still something to work for the Aussies, but they actually have broken the economy of TyLoo. We discussed it before, saying they love force buying a little bit too much. Hopefully we'll be taking the eco here just to make sure they can guarantee themselves a decent buy with the actual M4s. And this is the Azur play. He's going through. Let's say one of those smokes down. The Tech 9 can be so good at running and gunning. And he gets himself in a decent position here. See, he's not even checking that close corner. I guess the final kill towards City Spawn now. So lovely round by Azur. Still not sure how much I can do here, but it's DD to open things up. He takes down the aforementioned player. Now 5 and 4 in their favor. Yet to recover the weapon though. Sponge takes down Captain Mo from the connector.
Very good position to be in. You're still going to fight forward. This one would take a little spot at the other before the smoke bloomed and tries to spray it and find DD. Only takes him down to 58. Yam's got Fancy. He was the low HP player. He'd already been tagged up by Sponge. They now have the man advantage bomb down and still have the weapons to work with, but DD has the M4, and he's going to take down Ustillo. They both have armor as well. If somebody could find a gun, this could work out, but he goes for the wide peak late to see what's going on at the bottom of the ramp, but JKS had already slipped by. It's now all on to DD, and this M4 is going to be a coveted weapon moving forward.
Yeah, it's strange. He's
yeah, you think you just go to apartments or horseshoe.
Run T-Spawn maybe, yeah. Just get out of there, but he did take the risk of running by connector, but will be surviving here towards that ladder room. The Renegades finding their 5th. Still a lot of work to do here, but DD saving the M4 does just help boost the economy slightly with CTs next. He's got body armor as well. Probably assume he doesn't need to upgrade to head armor here. Yeah, they're at number 20. It's 14-5. AWP comes out on Mo. And the rest of the team will be getting M4s as well. So somebody looks like he will be struggling. He gets dropped over a weapon. And Renegades, presumably with a very similar buy here. But 5 AKs, no orbs for them on the army up. And from what the default play at the start of the round. We saw Renegades with their very default passive hold in most rounds. It's like not even facing middle whatsoever. It's a change of pace for them this time. Got to be smoking out towards the window and facing towards connector as a team. All three players will be looking at it.
They're back toward the underpass. Is going to go back over into the apartments as well because they want to go for a split down catwalk. Puts pressure onto somebody in this position behind Cinder. They won't be spotting him yet, but as they run through, he pops out late, misses the shot. Still with the kill. DD responds from inside of the ladder room. They can't chase him down. He's on 12 HP when he jumps back into the window. And importantly, Attacker finds 2 kills in the process, so this could now be map point for TyLoo. Not just yet, though. Azure inside of the site is going to find Fancy Bomb is going to go down. And they're going to rotate over through both Checker and one coming in from the apartments. That's going to be DD, who does have the 12 HP to work with, but Azure takes down Captain Mo. Very quick peek.
Yeah, very efficient shot from him. Bomb ticking away now. It's going to be DD on 12 HP as well. They have not got a single kit, so need to act a little bit faster here. Azure looking for more here, but it's Attacker from the back. Takes him down from Kitchen, and he gets both kills as well. That's going to be round number 15 for TyLoo. Map point. And Azure with some fantastic shots there, unable to in the last 2.
4 kills for Attacker as well. 4 kills for Attacker as he got 2 on catwalk that ultimately saved DD and left them in that two men alive situation.
15-5. Renegades do have enough to buy into this one. Good news for them is with TyLoo losing so many players, they're going to be struggling with this buy, but here's the play from Azure. Great shot onto the first bomb side player. That's a very fast peak, like you said, but strange how they weren't facing towards Kitchen whatsoever. Let's assume that wouldn't be a possibility. I guess sometimes you have to take a little bit of a risk. For number 21, this could be it now. One more required for the CTs.
Flash down middle as well, and DD's back inside of the same ladder room that we saw his effects from last round. Peek out toward catwalk again. This time it's going to be the same play from Renegades. But they've left Mo a gap. The problem is he's looking low, not high. Does flick back and spot Yam in time. Double scoped in. There was a chance he might not have seen it. And DD drops bomb again. Sponge goes down, but watch him behind because they have got you still into the window room. DD can't find him just yet. Re-peeks out, and it's actually DD that comes down to 59 HP with no response frag. But JKS does get somebody after he drops 1, meaning they can get inside of the site, but bomb is still on top of the catwalk, and they have to go back for it.
3 on 2. He's still low HP as well. DD coming in from Kitchen. Like he may get the drop on one of the players here. Just narrowly missing out on that angle. Decent smoke there. And that takes up almost all the attention of the remaining terrorists. And DD just trying to find him. Trying to get some vision. Not going to happen just yet. You can see the bomb's down in a pretty difficult position towards that ladder room. Unable to retrieve him. That's that. But surely can't do anything with this, the Renegades. Just look at the way it's all set up for them.
Oh, there it is, DD. Stray bullet almost on a JKS. And that'll bring us back level, 1 map apiece, both maps 16-5.
Yeah, it's so we said TyLoo had to step up massively here, and you have to say Renegade CT setup wasn't fantastic. They couldn't really get rolling there whatsoever. Getting shut down when they're playing passive, aggressive, double AWPs. They gave everything a go, to be fair. It wasn't for lack of trying, just wasn't really working out for them in any respect. As you're still on that A side, you're having massive problems actually holding them off. Yam wasn't having massive. He gets 17 kills overall, but just Sponge once again 6 kills. JKS on 5. He's the B player. There's actually so much presence towards that A side. He's always on the retake. To be fair, maybe Renegades could have had a little bit more aggression towards middle and try to actually find those first frags, but it's DD with 26 kills, Mo on 22, and it's those guys actually leading the charge. And now they had a decent game once again, 15 kills for him. So there it is, 16-5, like you said. We will be moving on to Cash.
I don't even know. I mean, sometimes these are the best series in retrospect because the first map goes one way, you think it's over, it's done, comes back, and then you go, wait a minute, what just happened? And then you have no idea where to scale things and going into the third map, and then it's usually just an all-out brawl. And in most cases when this happens, the third map is actually very close and well contested. So this still has potential to turn into an excellent final. It's just extremely hard to predict at this point. And there is what is on the line, the winner's trophy as well as the majority of the prize purse, $50,000 at these minors. Both these teams will be going through to ESL Cologne qualifiers, but that doesn't stop either of them from wanting to win.
Well, here we go then. Our MVP, DD, probably one of the most unsung heroes of the team, but he gets 26 kills this game. 8 of those are headshots, 10 deaths, 2.73 kill to death ratio. and 4 kills in the first each time. So good play from him. Very much different map there. Almost night and day from what we saw on Cobbles. That's TyLoo working very efficiently. Didn't throw their money away in terms of the force buys consistently. So that's actually very impressive stuff from them.
Well, that said, we do have 3 guys who watched the entire game, and I'm sure are equally as confused as to why it suddenly ended up at the same scoreline in reverse. James, it's over to you.
Thank you very much. Guys, we are surprised. I'm surprised. I wasn't expecting it to be that far reversed. How about you guys? Are you surprised by that?
I mean, it's great to see TyLoo coming back into it. Like I said before the map, I don't think that Cobblestone scoreline is going to be rattling them too much, and obviously it wasn't. That was a dominant performance. But I guess it was the first pepper round that really set the tone, where TyLoo decided to basically just creep out of the A ramp. And in a case that if Renegades happened to have Yam with the op there and the CT spawn, could have been a totally different story. And then afterwards also, they just kept playing very simplified Counter-Strike, and a lot of time Renegades players were getting caught off guard. Started things off, you saw Sponge getting killed in connector with the smoke in his hand, things like that happening. Starts getting really frustrating. That's when you start doubting yourself. You're sort of out of position all the time, and it's just a snowball effect afterwards.
So, Thorin, do you think that this was a different TyLoo that we saw, or do we think that this was the difference in Renegades that made this scoreline possible?
I mean, like I said, it's very unlikely you're going to have a performance like that from Azza again. Because what people don't realize about the first performance he had on Cobblestone is not only did he have that crazy thing where 18 kills were headshots, he had 28 kills or something, but he even had 8 assists or something. So that means the amount of ADI must have been doing was unreal. Every round he was basically the MVP of every round almost. So that's very unlikely that's going to continue, especially against a team that has good players like TyLoo. On this particular game here, not only did Renegades have less individual performances, but when TyLoo was on T-side, they didn't do any of the kind of panic plays that they made on Cobblestone, because on Cobblestone, like I said, when they got down early, it's like they just wanted to gamble and win it all back immediately. They weren't willing to play a patient game and say right, we'll trust in our T-side and we'll just give up some rounds and we'll try to get 5 or 6. They gambled to get right back in the game and try and get a 7 or 8 rounds. So this time around, very controlled, very disciplined. Almost all their attacks were really slow, actually. They didn't just do the super fast, hit a site and split on it. They would actually move up, even when they had only 3 or 4 guys left, if they lost early on, they'd move up slow, they'd set up a smoke, they'd set up a flash, then they'd go in. So I thought this was a much more controlled game. It seems like in the map break between the 2 maps, they must have mentally reset and realized this is our map. We've been winning on this map all tournament long. No reason to let the other game get out of hand. And so as a result, we're in the same position we were before, where Renegades win Cobblestone, TyLoo wins Mirage, and then Cash the decider.
Yeah. Going into Cash, do you think that now, because Renegades obviously were coming off of that high on Cobble, do you think this will have tilted them a little bit? Because we know that sometimes they're a team that can let their morale go down in this situation.
They should really just be thinking, like I was saying with TyLoo there, they should think the same way. So for TyLoo, when they lost Cobblestone, they're supposed to think, yeah, but we can win Mirage. That's our map pick. We'd be very good on that. So then that'll even it up. Likewise, if you're Renegades, all you should be focused on now is we did exactly the same thing last time and we won Cash. So if we can do that again, we can certainly win this series. It's there's no reason to be worried that we lost Mirage. It was actually reasonably unlikely they were going to get Mirage anyway. They haven't shown that much aptitude on it. They were decent, but I think TyLoo's the superior Mirage team.
Yeah, Mirage seems like Renegades still a little bit lost. They haven't really set their foot down on that CT side, really. You see nowadays a lot of teams have certain setups of how to hold middle, and then when they let the terrorists have middle, they have set plays for when they're playing the sides, taking over Palace, maybe flashing over the slope, going in there, trying to gain information all the time. Is that they're kind of, when were playing the sides, especially later on in the half, They seemed kind of lost, and they kept getting sandwiched. You saw strats from TyLoo where they came up connector, came up a slope, and then kind of did not have any positional advantage to be able to hold off an attack like that. But Cash, I mean, it was a very, very tough one. I think it was a 16-14 victory for Renegades previously. It was a comeback as well on the CT side for the Australians. So, I mean, this is really up in there right now. It's going to be a coin flip.
That's the thing. I don't think you can expect the exact same tone of Cash that we had yesterday. Because if you remember, that was where in the first half, Renegades only had 7 T rounds. And at the moment, the really good Cash teams, they can push that to 10 on T side. So they had to have been sweating bullets to some degree when they were on CT side, thinking if TyLoo has a really good half, they win the game. So I think this time around, I mean, you look at the first 2 maps, both have been really terrorist-sided. Mirage isn't even that much of a T-sided map. It's hard to get a winning round on it. So I actually wonder if we'll have a similar tone to the first two maps. The terrorists going crazy on both halves, because I think what's going to decide it is who has the best CT reads in that sense. I think that's what can win you the game here, because when you're facing that terrorist side on Cash, yeah, they can. You're just at their whim to some degree. So you've got to make those kind of like the genius read where you don't have that much information, but you stack a guy over here and you're lucky that's when they come to your site. As we've kind of mentioned in past games, a key mistake here, and this is a mistake that Vici made a lot on Cash, is that if you were the terrorists and you kind of like you flashed or you faked an area, they would just bite on it each time. They'd go, oh, they're just coming in this area.
Yeah.
They would. That's like you're trying to gamble with your read as opposed to make like an intelligent read. So that key difference is what will probably decide who wins this map, I think.
Do you think we're going to see that discipline that we just saw from TyLoo on Mirage? Do you think we can see that on Cash? Do you think that's something that they'll have? That's it now. They've learned that from the mistakes on the first map.
I think they're better than for example, VG when it comes to rotations, but they still got work to do on it. Especially Cash is a map where rotations are a key component, and like we mentioning, a lot of it is come down to just especially on the A side, you can throw all the smokes from all the way back from towards the T spawn. Basically, that enables you to either boost up in middle, try to do an A split, or just an A attack right away, or you can even go and just head towards B right after. So it's a lot about not over-rotating, trusting your teammate. That's number one thing. But also is a component of why teams over-rotate. It's like unconsciously people think, all right, I have to kind of pinch this way because, he might not be able to handle what's going to be happening and so forth. So I think they're the kind of team that's sort of already, settled. They've understood, we got to take it easy and not over-rotate. So I think they should be fine in that regard.
It's actually Renegades I'm kind of more worried for. Like he was saying there, okay, so the maps that we've seen Renegades do really well on, the two cobblestones, were where they were able to get those big leads, they were able to be front runners, you got all your confidence going, you feel like, okay, even if you lose rounds, we're still ahead, it's still okay, the mentality is really good. The fact that they did a comeback on Cash was what was impressive to me. Like, they had the clutch CT plays, they had big individual plays to get them back in the game. That's where we haven't seen that much of Renegades on that respect over this tournament or over the last few months. So if they can do it again, fair play. You've got to say, like, you've seen evolution as a team, but that's actually where at the moment I feel like TyLoo have to just sort of hold serve, and if you just wait, you might get a chance from Renegades. They might just crumble a little bit. They might just fall to the pressure a bit. So that's the concern for me. I hope they don't, and I hope we get a really good game as a result.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the players in particular. First map we saw Azza really stand out. As we've mentioned, I think Mo was one of the highlight players in the second map. Who do we think is going to make the big difference on a player-by-player basis? Who's going to make a big difference in this map?
I mean, well, somebody has been a guy. I think he's so far probably been amongst MVPs of the tournament, so you'd expect him to be there.
But today, not so much, right?
He hasn't really shown up. Yeah, exactly. If he's going to get his, shit together, so to speak, I think that's going to be Renegades in a lot of trouble. He's really good at attacking those bomb sites, and his aim transitioning is just very, very good, especially when you're the first guy coming in. You're going to be having to shoot a lot of different angles, one after the other, and he's doing that flawlessly. So got to be looking at him.
I mean, the impressive thing, like I referenced before in the pregame, was that TyLoo isn't a team where it's one guy who carries each time. Like, there's certain teams where I can say, okay, not only is this the best player, but he has to have a good game for you to win the map.
Yep.
Well, what's funny is on the Mirage game there, it wasn't really any of the players throughout the tournament have looked really strong. Fancy One was just chilling out. Somebody was all right. You think of who else was not doing that well? I think it was mainly
pretty much everyone with DD. DD was the one with the big numbers.
He hasn't had that many big games. He's had like one map the whole tournament.
Pretty
so
much,
they've got a lot of weapons there. Whereas, I mean, you saw in that particular game there, it wasn't that, like, actually Henry made a good point about this. It wasn't that JKS had like a really bad game or whatever. They did hit the A site a lot, and he was basically rotating all the time. So he's not going to win 1v4s all day to get all his kills. That's a bit unreasonable to ask, but I do think that, okay, overall, over the series so far, JKS has been a bit quiet, though, because on map one, he didn't have to do much. They won quite easily, but all he really did there was, like, his classic role, like, win the clutches, that's it. But in terms of actual fragging, he hasn't really been the star player so far. So I feel like if he has a big game, that gives the Renegades a much, much better chance of winning.
Yeah, I don't think he's really had the opportunity, like you said, playing B bomb side on this map, on Mirage, being there.
It's not fun.
It's been there multiple times, jumping, here, like this. You have a grenade in your hand, just waiting if you see anyone. And the B apartments, it's a lot of fun, especially when your opponents are attacking that A bomb side, and you're like, guys, thank you for leaving me in a 1-on-4 once again. What I'm supposed to be doing here. But definitely, I think he can be the guy. He can be the one that really ignites Renegades here.
I think the players are having a little bit of a break. So let's chat about these two teams going through, because for you guys at home, both these teams are already through to the major qualifier for ESL 1 Cologne. So they're not in the major yet, but both these teams will have the chance to go there. How do you feel they're going to match up against the other teams at that qualifier?
Well, for me at least, I think TyLoo was a good starting point, I think, because TyLoo's a team that obviously we've seen now. They have a certain style that works. It's been working pretty well, but there's obvious weaknesses that Renegades was able to exploit, especially on Cobblestone. So what I really want them to do right now is to start, like, you have to find that different angle to how you play. You can't always just rely on the same style. You can't always be ultra passive. Instead, if you have 2-3 different kinds of ways to play CT side, and then you maybe add a few variables on your T side, then you're going to be less predictable and have those little things that will surprise your opponent. Because right now, a lot of teams are obviously going to be reading into a lot of the things you're doing, going to the major qualifier, especially because the stakes are super high. So everyone's going to be spending as much time as possible trying to get a read on what your opponent's doing.
Yep.
I actually think of the two, I will pick TyLoo as the one I think has the best chance to qualify there. Like, I'm actually pretty sure they will. Obviously, you never know what group they're going to get, but I think looking at the overall field we're likely to have there, I think they should be able to qualify, especially because as much as people can watch the demos, they feel like a team where you have to, like, play them once. I mean, Renegades fans, you have to play them to really understand how that actually works in the server. It's all good to watch a demo, but sometimes you're watching a demo and you think, oh, well, that's not a very good setup they have there, but you found out maybe it's counterintuitive. Maybe there's something to it that you didn't quite figure out until you played it and you found out how hard it was to run against. So I think overall TyLoo have the better opportunity. Renegades certainly have the pieces to qualify. It's just with them, it's always that question, like, are they going to mentally crumble? I think it's the mentality for me is the biggest deal with Renegades.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
yeah,
nothing to add.
I second that. Okay, guys, we are ready. The players are back in their booths, and we are going to go into map number 3, the decider of the grand final, to find out who will win, who will get that $30,000 prize at the end of this. Henry Sadikist, take it away.